Get ready for sports news and entertainment. All right, here, your 7 minutes with Simmons starts right now.
Anybody know that song? I'm going to put it at the beginning of the podcast. You know what? Never mind. I'm not going to ask. It's Paralyzer, baby. Finger 11 last night was in Port Colborne, and I was working at Canal Days, and I got the chance to experience that song live from the bathroom. I was in the porta potty, extremely disappointed, but nevertheless, I was head bopping the whole time. I came flying out, all right? I got out of there in a hurry. Welcome back to the podcast, guys. This is episode 54, bringing you guys right back on the tour bus. We got the New York Islanders up today as we continue our tour around the National Hockey League. How's everybody doing today? Hoping well. How was your weekend? It's Sunday. The weekend is still very much here, hopefully filled with beer. I mean, we'll see. I don't know what you guys get up to, but definitely a good weekend for myself. Extremely busy, just working a ton, and that seems to be where I like to be. I love to be busy. I love to be active. I love to be out. I love to be serving customers, interacting with customers, shooting content, editing content, and keeps me a pretty busy guy. So my weekend was good. How was yours? What did you get up to? Did you see Finger 11 in Port Colborne? If you did, let me know in the comment section down below. And if you didn't see them, please still let me know in the comment section down below. What did you get up to this weekend? How was it? Did you do anything fun? Are you on vacation? I know this is kind of vacation time for a lot of people. If you are on vacation, let me know where you are. That'd be really awesome. You know, hopefully you're enjoying that. I mean, honestly, I don't even need a vacation here. It's been so disgustingly hot in the Niagara region for the last little bit that I got no concerns with being anywhere else. But let's dive in. Enough of the chit chat. All right. We got the New York Islanders up today, the offseason recap, and the 2025-26 season projection. Let's get it done today. All right. We'll start with the Noah Dobson trade. That was a big one. And the Romanov extension. These are probably the two biggest moves, as well as the draft haul. We'll get into that a little bit later. So the Islanders traded their top pair defenseman, Noah Dobson, to Montreal in a sign and trade for Emil Heineman. Both of Montreal's first-round picks also coming towards the Islanders in the 2025 draft. On June 30th, they locked up Alexander Romanov. That was an 8-year, $50 million contract to anchor the blue line. So a lot of stuff happening on the back end. Dobson gone, Romanov extended, and that pivots us directly into the next conversation about the draft haul. Boosting that youth pipeline, holding on to that number one pick. The Islanders selected elite defenseman prospect Matthew Schaefer, who could be NHL ready by opener. We don't know yet, but he could be. I think he will be. I mean, this guy moves with fluidity. He is like a gazelle out there. So much speed, so much skill and talent. I see him sliding in to a top four role relatively quickly and being a difference maker. I would love to see him lead the way here for the Islanders, and we'll see how things develop there. Also, Montreal's first rounders turned into promising additions. Victor Eklund and Christian HEARD at numbers 16 and 17. So really interesting there. I love the way this Islanders team is shaping up. I think with Matthew Schaefer and a couple of other interesting guys, Christian HEARD, like there's a lot of guys being brought into that team. They did a great job. They did a great job with this upcoming or most recent draft. Like they killed it. They knocked it out of the park. They got 3 potentially NHL ready prospects on their roster to start for next season. And that's really exciting for a team that's been a little bit stale over the last couple of years. Not a whole lot going on. a little bit of an aging team, an older team, and now you got some of that youth injecting themselves into the lineup. And that's the kind of vaccine this team was looking for, and they're glad to receive such a thing. 3 big prospects, that's a good one. On the other side of the fence, low risk, veteran depth added. New GM at that, Mateau Darche, signed short-term contracts for players like Tony DeAngelo, Jonathan Drouin, Maxim Shabanov, David Rittich, Scott Perinovich, and signed some RFAs, Simon Holmstrom, Emil Heineman, and Maxim Tsiplikov. Jeez, that guy's name is a tough one. But he's going to be an interesting addition, along with the rest of those low-risk veteran depth. And, of course, that's a big addition for the new GM. I think it helps some of those younger guys coming in. There's going to be less pressure on them to produce right away. Also, not a ton of cap space tied up in these guys, so there's still a lot of mobility. Short terms, relatively inexpensive pay structures, so we'll see how that pays off. Moving forward into next season, really exciting. As I said, the youth movement on defense, Schaefer joining early, hopefully. Romanov anchoring that blue line. The Isles relying heavily on some of those emerging players to stabilize the back end, but I don't think they got any issues at all. The depth up front, signing Drouin and re-signing players like Holmstrom and Heineman gives depth scoring options, and the focus is on fixing a historically poor power play and adding a secondary scoring that could hopefully be bolstered by that youth pipeline. So that's definitely a point of emphasis. The cap flexibility also retained, as we talked about earlier, that low-risk veteran depth added. Definitely inexpensive, allowing them to preserve roughly $9 million in cap space for some of those future moves. And, of course, the big one, the coaching is under pressure to deliver. New head coach Patrick Waugh inherits a deep roster, but also with significant injury risk. Players like Barzell, Duclair, Pollock, and Varlamov have missed time before, and Waugh decisions will have to maximize the depth, and he's going to be under the spotlight. So we'll see how that all develops next season. That's going to do it, guys. Thanks for tuning into the show. We'll see you next time. Peace.